movie.
I'm just happy it's canon now. Like, seriously. And I always thought he was the hottest anyway. But for real, Dragon Ball Super Broly, so fucking good. Messes with the canon a little bit in ways that, like,
yes.
you know, if you accepted Bardock, father of Goku, as canon, which we did for
as
the longest
Toriyama
time,
did,
as Toriyama did until he wanted to do minus, and you know what?
And then he said, "No, I don't want to do that again. Let's work on that too."
So I'm guess, like, you know, Jor-El Bardock and his son Kakalel-Rod.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and say that if I have a problem with this movie, it's that we went, you know, instead of Goku being like this kind of cool take on the Superman alien coming to Earth narrative, what if we just gave him Superman's origin, like almost to a T? Like, and that's kind of a bummer for me, because I always liked Goku as this. He's kind of like Japanese Superman, and that it's like, no, his upbringing was less about, you know, we need to save our son, and it's just like, by random happenstance, you got here, and things kind of just worked out.
Yeah.
This felt much more planned and ordained, and he's a child of destiny, which I've never been.
And turning Bardock, and these are the problems I had with the beginning part.
Yeah.
Like, just to, because I mentioned I had a couple of nitpicks. Turning Bardock from that, like, ruthless Saiyan kill machine warrior to, I don't know, I've destroyed a lot of things, I guess I just want to save something. My Kakarot. Just, you know, carrying the fucking pod over his shoulder.
I don't think you're wrong necessarily on that one, but okay, it's a guy who hates minus.
It's personal.
Yeah, this is a pure personal preference thing for me too. It is not me essentially going like, it's bad because they did this.
Normally I love the sacrificial father trope. In this case, it changed something that I liked into something that I didn't like as much.
As a guy who hates minus, flat out, I hate it. I think it's terrible. It's not a story. It's not anything. It's just Toriyama.
It just exists.
Fucking up something that already worked. This take on it is far better than the comic was.
And you know what? I'll take that. That's fine.
Like,
I did not read minus.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but bad things because I hang out with you people.
Like, I don't like the fact that Gine is
there.
Actually, if I be completely honest with you, I don't mind.
I know, right?
I don't mind the idea of Goku having a mom that's there.
Katsuhiko hates moms.
Well, I definitely wouldn't fuck one. That's. But the problem that I have is that they just decided that, oh yeah, so here are the female Saiyans. They make the food.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh god.
They work at the meatpacking plant
the
all day.
Exactly. And I'm like,
how dare these Saiyans not be progressive, Kaiser?
No, but here's the thing.
So wait, the female Saiyans are only good for packing meat and having babies? What the fuck? Honestly, I think that's kind of Toriyama to a T, though.
I know. It bothers
me. That's why
you
love it.
Fucking Celiba and Bardock is like, we're Celiba stomping on people, and in here it's like
Fasha.
I was confused.
Yeah. And so it's frustrating because it's like, oh great, Goku's mom is just nice submissive waifu. I mean, but that being said, I kind of love her design, and
she has good design.
Yeah, and
she was really good at chopping that meat.
I see the Raditz in her, which is cool.
Raditz hair.
Yeah,
kind of just shorter.
And I do. As much as I absolutely hate turning Bardock into a good guy, they at least go out of their way to give him context clues as to what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, he's not psychic anymore.
Yeah,
he figures it out.
Oh, no, in the comic, he just figures it out.
I think Frieza's gonna kill us.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling about this. I gotta send my son away. And no, in the movie,
they're like the first scene here is really back in with his buddy, who I guess is named Leek. I don't think his name is ever mentioned, but in the credits he's listed. So he's flying back in with his buddy Leek. He's like, I got a bad feeling about like why Frieza's calling in all us from the outer reaches.
And he gives a bunch of reasons of why this is fishy. And then he finds out that Frieza's been asking around about Super Saiyan. And he's like, yeah, no, this
he's gonna kill us. Ha! Yeah, that's a good joke, Bardock.
And the reason I like that is that it's like, all I can think is, this guy's seen some shit. He's probably done shit to get people into
This is a classic tactic of get all of them in one spot so you can smoke them at one time.
Exactly. This feels like a tactic of war, and Bardock puts it together. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then when Gine even asks, like, this isn't like you. Why are you sending him out like this? You never cared before. And then, you know what? As cheesy as the line is,
it was very cheesy, but I understand, and it was a very like sentimental heart story.
And when he puts his son down and he says, "Look, if it's all a ruse, I'll come back and
we'll go
rescue
find him." Yeah.
But that goodbye, I was like, "Oh shit! I hate Minus, and this got me." I'm like, "Damn it! Is that fair?"
I want an alternate universe where Frieza doesn't blow up Vegeta and Bardock has to go to Earth to get Kakarot. And it's just like, who's this Gohan guy? I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Like he's the one that shows up when Goku's like 12 and entering the tournament or something.
Ooh.
That's my boy. Yeah, let me see that alternate time.
My
Masako, hit it up.
Right? I do love how when he's in the ship with Leek, and Leek's like, you know that guy, he's a total bastard, and fucking Bardock's like, dude, your scouter's on, man.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You know he can hear you.
They just puts it down on the ground as if that's gonna turn it off. But
The thing that I think because I haven't chimed in much, but I also still I think it was pretty, and the way I ration it out in my head is that when the blast is coming, you still see him fighting.
yeah, he's the one there. I wanted to see that part, and I hope that's in the extended.
That's what I was thinking. Is like there's still some more that happened there that I think was cut because we just go from he's gone and then he dies in the middle of the blast.
It's
tattered
weird
fighting
too
soldiers.
because he looks like he's pre-battle damaged in that
Yeah,
shot, too.
exactly.
Like those other things, like stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm expecting that if there is an extended version, which I pray to God there is, there's scenes with him fighting, because that's what I would absolutely want, because it's implied in the movie.
Yeah,
almost,
ever so slightly. You see a bit. You see him with the soldier
it looks
there.
like it's him with a bunch of like freedom fighters
Yeah.
out there trying to be like.
Yeah, you would have that, wouldn't you?
I kind of wonder this because they also imply in the movie that not every Saiyan is a warrior. Some of them, I guess, are technicians and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And they actually run around with rifles and blasters. Not everybody's fucking energy beams.
Yeah, I love
guess not
that.
everybody.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. But I look at this and I'm thinking, like, because I'm guessing
Where is it?
Leak is a pilot or something.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why he wasn't up there helping. But if they all fire
There was one big mega beam from all the Saiyans.
Well, we know the true power of Dragon Ball is friendship.
Yes.
And that's what they learned at the very end.
And that's what the Saiyans didn't understand.
Yeah,
which is why
they were all bastards, according to Paragus, who is also incredible in this. And the dichotomy between him and King Vegeta, who, by the way, I loved King Vegeta's design in this. He looks so fucking
King Vegeta's
cool.
outfit
Yeah,
is
young King
great.
Vegeta looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I was actually
I
really,
liked his new goatee.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, everything about him, his demeanor, the way that he goes about stuff, the way he freaks out.
Scumbag.
Commoner is in the same nursery as his son. He's like,
Because there's like a whole bunch
Salty
of other
Spring,
dudes
I said,
down
yeah,
there, but
okay.
this, like Broly also like, oh fuck this!
Well, I think it's more like he's like, I recognize these ones are these are all the elite horde. And
That's
who's-
Nappa's boy, and
Basically, like I'm sure it's something along those lines of like, yeah, the upper crust, like we get to hang out
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
Who's this dirty baby?
I bet you know what? I will point out that his color was different.
Ah,
yeah,
So
the
they-
pod color was different.
Yeah, maybe they're designated by color. Maybe like the lower class, like middle class, high class.
What do you think this is?
According to the thing, so he must have been somewhere in that echelon.
Yeah,
but
But
not
not
the
good.
shitty lieutenant. That's what they didn't tell us.
Yeah.
Whoa!
And kind of like you and I imagined, they decided, shit, fuck, that kid might be stronger than my boy Vegeta, so we're gonna send him out to this shit stain of a planet way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, basically they're like, oh, okay, that kid. So Vegeta gives a reason, which is actually kind of a valid reason of like his power level is incredible. He won't be able to control it, and he's going to kill us all. But Paragus is like, no, you just don't like the fact that he's stronger than your son. And Vegeta's like,
Bitch, I already shot him out.
Yeah, well, he's already gone, so whatever.
That's a fine argument. You should tell that to Broly, who's on his way to Pampa.
yeah, well, I like he's like, another word out of you and I'll have your tongue. And it's like, ooh.
Yep, fair enough. And then he just launches out of the window. It's like, there's fucking stairs, mate.
Well, yeah, but that takes a while.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, you're behind the pod anyway.
Yeah. I love, so yeah, he grabs Beat and he's like, I'm taking this fucking plane. He's like, you're not qualified to fly that thing. It's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't care. We're going.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna be in so much trouble.
I love Beats, by the way, because he does like,
Right?
Who was that?
That's right.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's actually a phenomenal little character for the time that he's there, because he's just this normal Saiyan dude who gets drug
With
into
his little laser gun.
with his little laser gun. And they have to survive on Bumbo when they get there, and it's crazy. By the way, we haven't talked about one of the coolest parts of the opening bit, which is
When Frieza's introducing the scouters, or
yeah, because to me, I had no idea. If you told me, hey, so who met the Saiyans and who was ruling for the longest time, I would have said Frieza. King Cold was actually ruling their shit.
I like that it was the Cold Force at one point.
Yeah,
It's so fun.
I love the Ginyu Force showing up there doing their little pose, like dabbing on the hand. And like then King Cold just walks out there, like, by the way, I'm retiring. This is my boy Frieza. He's a bit of a psychopath, but he's in charge now.
All right, Joffrey, do your job.
Yeah.
It's a very short thing, but I think like when King Vegeta greets King Cold, he like pulls out a hand like for a handshake.
Yeah.
And like Cold like ignores him, like kind of just like whatever. But I feel like that sets a tone.
And then he has to kneel to Frieza.
Yeah. Like it's like a very different like. By the way, my son's gonna be running things a little differently than I did. Like you Saiyans, you were like you were okay. My kid here, he's gonna.
He's like really young, like he's a kid.
Yeah. He's like
King Cold's just like I don't know.
He's this fresh out of the syphilis summer going on. You know, like
He makes sense.
yeah, I like it though.
But the scene in question where he introduces this guy, is like, "Here, we brought a gift for you. Here, I'll show you how to work this. Oh, it looks like you got some weapons trained on us right now. Oh, that guy's got a power level of 2,000. Bang! Bang! So that's how they work.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, if you have any problems, feel free to complain.
That was so good.
So
Yeah.
Frieza.
Yeah,
perfect.
I love the idea that it's such a cool way to introduce the device. I mean, we already know, but what a great way to work into the story. So this is how that. Oh.
Okay, we got some weapons trained on.
Yeah, no, it's so good. It's great. It's a great opening.
Fire at these like snipers. I love the
Yeah.
this like military like. Okay, we gotta defend the castle. If things go wrong, we're the line of defense.
Yeah, I like seeing this more like militaristic, kind of like modern military look at the Saiyans. Like with just little snipers, and everybody's got little laser guns, and some guys can't fly around and be super buff and punch people to death.
Yeah, and I'm okay. I'm okay with changing up that dynamic with Saiyans. I didn't need them to be total fucking barbarians, but like I like the idea that they can. As a warrior race, they're really good at combat. They actually use military strategy and weapons. And
I also really like the aspect of like the beats when they're on Bappa. Like Paragus is like, yeah, make sure not to stare at that too long. It'll turn into an ape. It's like, oh shit, I've never done that before.
Yeah,
it's implied that not all the Saiyans have experienced being an Ozaru.
Not everybody wants to get hazed on their college night.
Yeah, yeah. Beats is such a great character because he's so obviously like he's barely a Saiyan. He doesn't feel like any other Saiyan character we've ever met.
He's a technician.
Yeah.
He seems to imply that he's the guy that like helps repair ships and shit.
Yeah.
And we're in the spoiler video.
Yep.
They get stranded on Bappa because they break their ship. It's like, I can't fix this shit. And Paragus is like, well, the guy can serve food. Like, what do you mean? Bang!
Turns out he wasn't an average fighter or a brilliant scientist, so there was no need for him on this planet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but when he just kills Beats, like, well, we do have to conserve food. So.
And this is after Paragus is like, I wouldn't trust him fucking
Yeah,
and he's just like, this is why.
Yep, it is a great setup, and I didn't even think about that line. What a great setup! Like, never trust a Saiyan. What I tell you, boy.
Do you think Broly's first meal was a human Saiyan?
I don't know if they ate Beats.
They ate him.
They probably did. But you saw Broly's first meal. He's chewing on one of those bugs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No, that's right. He's in that
Because he murdered a bunch of those big ass powerful bugs as a baby.
Yeah, they implied that when they got to the planet,
Yeah,
he
Paragus
stared
seems
at
to
that
say
movie.
like, oh yeah. Paragus seems to imply that, oh look, there's some tears in his armor. He must have turned into an ape.
Yeah.
Which eventually, when you meet older Broly, he doesn't have the tail because Paragus had to cut it off because apparently Ape Broly's too powerful.
Yeah.
We also get to meet. Okay, so the design of Bampa is fucking great.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like those. First of all, those spider monsters are creepy as hell.
Yeah,
Like
the scarab leech things.
yeah, those things. It feels like this planet is just one giant living creature with a bunch of.
That's what I thought it was going to be at first, when they had the big green
first
fuzzy
encounter,
monsters.
yeah.
And they're like, it's grass. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
the whole
just
planet
one
is one big
giant
thing.
Yeah.
Seeing its fleas.
Yeah, and then we get giant worm dog.
Yeah, giant worm weasels.
Oh, I love them.
Those things I dug the hell out of when they first stepped down. Like they stepped onto this like soft land, and it's like, huh, this land feels soft. I'm like, oh shit, they're standing on Broly.
That's what I thought too, yeah.
Nope. Turns out they were on these giant weasels that also played Broly's backstory in kind of an adorable way.
In a good way.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Broly's Ozuru does have green fur, greenish fur, so.
Yeah.
But yeah. And, so yeah,
and so Paragus, needless to say, has this giant revenge quest on King Vegeta now for exiling his son
And for stranding him for 41 years.
So he's like, I'm gonna train you, Broly. They were scared of you because I know you're too good. So I'm gonna work you, boy. And that's kind of where we leave them on that.
Paragus just turns into this asshole dad that you just want to see like the worst shit happen to. And oh boy, does he get so many comeuppance.
I don't know how he got the shot collar without leaving the planet.
He probably jury rigged it out of the ship somehow.
That's what I was thinking, but yeah,
maybe that. Wait, no, I can actually make a guess into how the Saiyans work. The Saiyans, they mentioned that they are planetary conquestors, and they take over the planet and sell it for profit. They would also inevitably take slaves.
Yeah,
sell them.
Already.
So those shot callers, that's
Fair
what that
point.
is.
Yep.
Yeah, by the way, I want to point something out that somebody pointed out to me, and I loved this scene, with the shot caller specifically. I know we're going to skip ahead, but we'll skip back to where we were.
Yeah, that's fine.
The scene where he pulls up the boat for the first time.
Oh, and Broly.
And you see Broly's face?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's really fucked up.
In the good narrative
It's
way.
like that is child called it territory.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
That's
man.
that's like this is Daddy's belt, and that's
Yes.
Broly's reaction. He's got this like PTSD, and it's so fucking sad.
Yeah.
Especially in the scene where like he's sitting down and talking with Chile and Lime.
Yeah.
And he's really talking about the thing that I was applying earlier. His little ass scarf has a backstory, and it is the ear of one of those giants, like.
I'm so glad they give Baby Broly a
Fur
safety
weasels.
blanket.
Yeah, it's his blankie.
Yeah.
It was one of these giant fur weasels that he made friends with, that he named Bob because of the noises that it made. And Paragus shot that fucking ear off because he's like,
Broly, no, you're not. Stop playing. You're supposed to be training. Friendship is a distraction.
yeah. And ever since he shot the ear off, that animal no longer considered Broly friendly at all, and just acted completely savage.
This is the last
And so
friend.
this is the last time I remember having a friend. You're just like, oh my fucking
Yep.
God, poor baby.
Yep, I could not. I remember listening to that story, and I teared up a little bit. I'm like, Broly had a friend.
I know. And then his dad shot its fucking ear off,
Friend
and now
Broly.
he keeps that as a reminder. And I'm guessing Paragus lost the eye by trying to take that ear away.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, we never get an explanation of why he loses the eye.
I think it's heavily implied it's because of Broly losing control.
Well, obviously, I would have. I like when scars that are that obvious have a little bit of a.
Discover how you can make a difference in your community and country, serving part-time in the Army National Guard. Visit nationalguard.com/community.
Broly is back and better than ever in Dragon Ball Super Broly, but he wasn't the only highlight in the film. There were a ton of awesome moments that got us so excited we thought we were going to go Super Saiyan! There's 13 things we loved about Dragon Ball Super Broly. Wait, tell me one thing.
Yeah?
What does repugnant mean?
I'm busy, can't talk.
One of the best parts of Dragon Ball Super Broly is that we get to see a part of Planet Vegeta that we have never seen before. We see Saiyans doing non-warrior things. They're pilots, they have a bustling village center, Janae is cooking. Goku may have been classified as a low-class warrior, but at least he had options. Not a warrior thing, though. Bardock lost the headband and his original outfit, and he's got a new personality too that we're really digging. So no cloth soaked with the blood of his fallen brothers in this movie, but his face is still covered in scars. But the best change in Bardock, despite his innate destructive Saiyan nature, his love for his family prevails, and he saves his son from the tragic fate that befell the rest of his race.
Damn it.
Okay. We got to see Goku, Vegeta, Broly, and Raditz as cute little ones. I think they were adorable, come on. Kind of a fun way to see these fearsome fighters, but where's...
I don't know why, but I have
Yeah, we saw Nappa with hair. Enough said.
Stop!
Hine talks about Goku having Bardock's hair. We can definitely see that. But what happened to Raditz? That hairline? We're getting awfully suspicious. No. Is Raditz Vegeta's half-brother? Is he named King Vegeta? I mean, that would look fake, though. Bulma and Frieza both need those Dragon Balls for extremely important reasons. You gotta love what the movie did here. Bulma needing to look younger, but not too young, just a few years younger, so it wouldn't be too noticeable. And Frieza needed to be taller, but not too tall, just a little taller, so no one would notice. I mean, if anyone is vainer than Bulma, I guess that award goes to Frieza. Good to know that the Dragon Balls are going to win.
All the same.
Broly had a bad childhood. I mean, the kid could not win. King Vegeta banishes him. He gets sent to a primitive, disgusting planet. He and his dad Paragus get stranded there, relegated to eating giant alien bug legs for sustenance. Then Broly has so much trouble controlling himself. Paragus restrains him with a shock collar. I mean, that's bad. Then Broly somehow makes a friend on this barely habitable world, a fuzzy green cat monster thingy. Broly is so brainwashed he considers their plane to be training. But Paragus is so driven by revenge and hate, so determined to make his son a strong, ruthless Saiyan warrior, he shoots out Ba's ear. Ba never trains with Broly dead, and he figures Ba will not hear because it's the only friend he's ever had. Heartbreaking. This story gave us all the feels.
Well, I'll do that.
This is the first time that we've seen Vegeta go Super Saiyan God in the anime. In the manga, he used this form in the future Trunks Dragon Ball Super arc, but Vegeta never used the form at any point during the entirety of Dragon Ball Super anime. So, pretty cool.
I'm gonna go right.
Another fun nugget, Broly hulks out and grabs Goku by the ankle and starts flinging him around, swatting him on the ground. Definitely seemed to emulate a particular scene from the first Avengers movie. As if the battle between Gogeta and Broly wasn't insane enough already.
That's the only thing he's doing. He kept nothing to follow.
Two warriors duking it out.
Smack someone to the ground like that.
I don't even know what to call
Anyone would do
this.
that.
It was badass enough that Goku and Vegeta do the fusion dance to become Gogeta, but the comedy that led up to their epic amalgamation had us in stitches. It was hysterical. Vegeta literally putting his pride aside, Piccolo berating our two favorite Saiyans over their poor fusion form, and the fusion screw-ups, emulating the failed fusions between Goten and Trunks. Now the big question is, they're better. Broly needs some motivation. He's starting to take a downward turn in the epic last fight. But Frieza knows he needs to really make him rage. So he kills Broly's dad. Yeah, he just turns around and energy blasts Paragus right to the heart. And then, all nonchalantly, he calls out to Broly, informing him about a stray energy blast. This was just so evil, it was kind of hilarious. I mean, there's cold, and then there's freezing. It's okay. He kind of gets it.
I don't know.
Vegeta basically throws Broly at Frieza, and Frieza gets pummeled for an hour. Oh, and Whis versus Broly. Gotta love that. Nobody liked the crux of Broly and Kakarot's rivalry in the other movies. I mean, come on. Crying too much. It was absurd. Thankfully, they tossed that backstory out in Dragon Ball Super Broly, but maybe we're reading into this too much. But it seemed like the new film paid homage to the past rivalry when Goku teasingly tells Broly at the very end, "Call me Kakarot." No, Broly didn't scream it after, though that might have been kind of great. What was your favorite part of Dragon Ball Super Broly? Tell us in the comments section. And don't forget to check out our videos on Goku and Vegeta reading Yelp reviews and the history of Broly. And as always, be sure to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.
Oh?
Ayo.
playing with you, man. What is it?
Escucha, escucha, escucha.
Ay.
Pedocito, pedacito de mameluco, hermoso.
You came. Sit down.
Dale, mamá.
Somebody's talking. What is minigun? Minigun sucks.
Get $300 off Google Pixel 3 with Select Trade-In.
Oh wait.
If you like anime and you want to try something new, Verb has added tie-dye to its list of channels within the ever-growing combo pack, where you can watch anime from Sentai Filmworks, otherwise known as ADV, shows like Food Wars, shows like Gate, shows like High School of the Dead, anime, fresh, new stuff, right here on Verb, VRV.co/Eco. Try it out for free. You can try all these shows and so much more on Verb. The link is down below.
Alright, so I'm in LA right now. I'm not in the studio where I record my usual videos, so if I sound a little bit weird, I'm recording this on my microphone from my laptop. I'm on the road. I'm actually at Kendamu's house. We're staying here with Kendamu. Just got back into the house from the premiere. It's about a 45-minute drive. I saw Dragon Ball Super Broly. I'm going to be giving you my review on the film, and then I'm going to come back either tomorrow or the day after with a full spoiler discussion with people who saw the film. We're going to be discussing things that were not in the original spoilers. Some very interesting things. So for this video, we're going to be avoiding spoilers. I'm going to tell you what I thought about the movie and whether or not you should go see this movie in theaters. First of all, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, obviously you're probably going to see this movie in theaters. Most of you guys will. Don't pirate this movie. And I need y'all to trust me on this one. Do not pirate this film. Y'all got to go see this movie in theaters because the thing about this film that's going to make this movie one of the, if not the most remembered Dragon Ball product of the current era of this Dragon Ball Renaissance, or at least, you know, one of them of all time, is the visuals and the audio. The production behind this movie was absolutely fantastic in every conceivable way. The animation that we've been talking over and over again, this is a visual spectacle movie. You need to see this movie in the biggest possible screen you can. In the best movie theater. You're getting a full story. You're getting a film that has way more character development for both than I was expecting. And it really does feel like a space opera. The first half of that film definitely felt like a space opera. So Toriyama saying that is absolutely accurate. But you're going to see incredible visuals and you're going to see unbelievable audio. So first thing I want to say is the animation is incredible. All the fight scenes are just unbelievable and they're very satisfying. You have all kinds of different martial arts styles being represented here. You have new techniques we've never seen before. You have Vegeta doing some very, very interesting stuff too. The Vegeta Broly fight just felt so fresh in the film, watching it. And of course, then we get to, I'm not going to spoil it, but then we get to more fights as it goes on. As far as the pacing of the movie goes, I felt like the Bardock stuff was long. It was long. Like the whole backstory. They had the first act was the Dragon Ball Minus story with Broly in there, with extra Broly stuff. So it was there. Gideon was totally adorable in the film. Obviously, I watched the movie English dubbed here in LA at the Chinese theater. It was an invite-only event. Myself and several other creators were there. Tons of people were there. Industry people. Pictures all over Twitter. And I had a really good time. Really, really good time. I might do a stream about it, but so anyways, back to the movie. So the visuals are great, but the audio was also stellar. Sumitomo.
There you go.
Let's be honest, Sumitomo had a rocky start. I think in Battle of Gods he had a great soundtrack. I think in Super, his soundtrack was not really very good until Trunks arc. That's when I really started to focus on how good of a composer he was. With this movie, he totally blew himself out of the water. The music in this movie is absolutely fantastic. I think you guys, that's what I'm saying, you know, don't pirate this movie. Go see it in theaters because you need to experience the audio and visual greatness. The movie does not really have a lot of fight scenes until the end. A lot of it's just build up. And I thought it was executed well. However, there were some things I did not like. First and foremost, there were several retcons here. We knew about this going on. Several retcons.
What's going on here?
First thing were that I thought there were very uncharacteristic retcons. And some of the stuff that they're retconning is anime, like non-manga stuff that Toriyama did, right? So that stuff like soften the blow. But there were some things that were in the original manga that retcon, which I'll probably discuss in the spoilers review. I think I'll discuss it there, or I might make a separate video dissecting.
Doing minigun now.
So that was really weird, and I felt like they spent like 35 minutes on the backstory with Bardock, but I was surprised because they tried to cram so much.
Got him?
Where are you?
It was missing stuff. They never really, like, they introduced Bardock.
I know.
Like, they talked about it because obviously this movie's made for hardcore fans.
Where did they go?
I thought that was great. It felt rushed, even though they had a full 35 minutes. It felt rushed, and that was kind of interesting. The Broly stuff, like his build-up as a character, I thought was really, really good. I mean, Broly became a very... I like Broly. I have become a Broly fan after this film, and I really look forward to seeing where the story goes next in Dragon Ball Super. I really am curious to see where they take this thing. As far as the dub goes, the voice acting
bullets! Look at the aim!
There's actually a scene in the movie where Sean Schemmel voices Goku, and there's a scene where Broly is beating up Goku, and Sean Schemmel, I swear, during that scene, sounds exactly like Nozawa. I could not believe it. He's like, like it was crazy. And you know, he's told me several times he doesn't purposely try to sound Nozawa, even though he has tried in the past to kind of emulate her style. It just doesn't work for him, you know, for that. But he does know how to play Goku sort of in the way that Toriyama kind of envisioned it. But in this film, there were a couple times where he's really trying. And even though he told me he wasn't trying, I felt like he may have been subconsciously doing it, and that was cool. That was cool. That was great. Also, Sabat as Vegeta was really funny and really serious when he had to be. Monica Rial, always a treat as Bulma. Vic Mignogna as Broly. Okay, I think that the voice that Vic has, he has kind of a more kind of chill voice.
Oh, I hate it.
That voice of Vic Broly's character better than the older Broly.
How good are you
I
at
think
this game?
Vic is better at playing this Broly than the other Broly. I had a conversation with him in the VIP, and we talked about this whole thing and how happy he was to come back and play Broly because he gets to actually act. He gets to actually be a character who's in pain, who's suffering. You know, and also, I felt like the movie did not do a great job in explaining Paragus and Broly's relationship. But they kind of went into it a little bit. Obviously, that's his dad, but like kind of the trauma they went through when they were younger. They don't really explain as much as I was hoping that they would. You know, the thing about this movie is that it's the longest theatrical Dragon Ball movie ever. Theatrical, right? Obviously, the Battle of Gods extended cut was longer, but the theatrical cut, this is the longest movie, and yet there were parts of that that were rough. Like, they really did focus on the fighting. Once the fighting begins, you got fighting all the way to the end. All the way to the end. So, it's one of those kind of movies. The first half is all building, the second half is all fighting.
No, I'm not gonna get
it. I felt like maybe if they had more time, they could have added more story, more information. But there were some very cool things in here that I was not expecting based on reading the spoilers. There was some interesting stuff. For those wondering about the final fight, it is the most visually insane fight I have ever seen in Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball has never done things like this. I mean, we've been talking about it. The actors have said it. People who worked on the movie have said it. Now I'm telling you because I've seen it with my own eyes, bro. I've seen it with my own eyes. The final fight in this film is breathtaking. Like, it blows away Goku versus Jiren both the first time and the second time. You know, and they had a lot of those guys working on this too. Just completely mind-numbing. Just, and the way the colors look, the movie's so freaking colorful. Like, it's a very colorful film, very bright, very vibrant. The animation is so smooth that it almost doesn't even look like Dragon Ball. Like, there's parts of it where it's like this looks like another anime. But the fights, I mean, if you're gonna see a movie for fights, this is the film to go see. Dragon Ball Super Broly, was it the best movie? Honestly, I feel like no, it's not as good as Battle of Gods in my opinion. But it's better than Resurrection F significantly. And I think some people are going to say it's their favorite movie. I think it's hard to really not agree with them because of how good the production and the visuals were. Like, Dragon Ball has never ever looked this good. It needs to be seen in theaters. Anyways, that should be it for my review. Like I said, I'll be doing a non-spoiler.
What is this? This is not a review.
A spoiler review.
Those guys are just goofing around.
Night Sight on Pixel 3. You can defy darkness.
Alright, welcome to my spoilers review of Dragon Ball Super Broly. I'm recording this the night of the premiere. We left the premiere about 2 hours.
Alright, so let's get started. I don't care if it's all a game. Don't play fair. I say we can do what we do, no matter how you move. Make your move. That's how it be, though. Nothing but great effort just to get a see, though. Eyes watching, but we never seem to be, though. Okay, so people, Dragon Ball Super Broly, definite film. I'll tell you off the bat. However, there is some big overall feel that I have and a thought, and I guess I don't want to say a consensus because a lot of people may or may not agree with me, and you could argue it's a problematic aspect per se regarding this opinion I have of the Dragon Ball Super Broly film, but we're gonna get to that here in a bit because I don't want to start off with negativity because, again, Dragon Ball Super Broly overall as a whole was freaking incredible, people. I'm not gonna lie, watching that film had me like, oh, it reinvigorated something within me as a fan of not only just anime, but just entertainment, you know what I mean? Like, it brings it back to why you fell in love, of course, with Dragon Ball franchise, all of the above when you watch the Dragon Ball Super film. Now, we'll quickly tackle the art and animation, and I say quickly tackle because, honestly, for the most part, it was gorgeous. Incredible. Definitely some noticeable CGI here and there. Not really that much, honestly. Is like there was small pieces of noticeable CGI. I mean, it was more so noticeable, I guess, in like the one scene where Broly was prior to his Super Saiyan hair. Like, you know, his hair was still black. He might have been at this point either still under Paragus' control, or he had just broken from it and he was in the Uzuru-esque Super Saiyan form, that new form that Broly had, where he was using the strength of as if he was in the Great Ape form, but he was still in his normal body. But there was a CGI scene there that the trailers for some reason wanted to show that scene in particular, and it was but it wasn't really jarring, or it didn't take you out of the moment, or didn't feel like, damn, that scene looked horrible. So art and animation, gorgeous. Some of the scenes were just amazing looking. You could definitely tell they put a lot of effort into this, and I think one of the reasons why this film exists, to be honest with you, was aside from, of course, many different business reasons, but it also led way to make some incredible action pieces. They really were feeding the fan base with this one, because one of the things people would argue immediately, and we're jumping out of the art and animation, because again, awesome, amazing, whatever, but it definitely led way
for more battle scenes. And again, this whole film was feeding the fan base, because one of the arguments that people have against this film is that it feels like it's a fans-only type of film. I'll be 100% honest with you, I felt the total opposite. I mean, for crying out loud, we don't even get to the main cast for a little bit into the film. It doesn't start off as a classic Dragon Ball film. It starts off as this origin story, which an origin story anybody can get behind, right? Because it's an origin, it's the beginnings of it, and it was giving the origin of the Saiyans and their relationship with Frieza and King Cold. So you was getting that aspect in the beginning of the film, and it was introducing that anybody that doesn't know about the Dragon Ball franchise, the mythology, the backstories of these characters and where they come from, their relationships, how does Goku and Vegeta know Frieza, and what is his, tie-in? Maybe they didn't see all of Dragon Ball Z back in the day. Maybe they're newer fans. I felt as though this film was very welcoming to brand new fans. I don't know where. I mean, I guess certain aspects, yes, of course, you do need to have seen Super to understand, like, if Goku references certain modes that he goes into or whatnot. But I do not feel in any way that this was just totally fans only. It felt very welcoming. We got the backstory of Bardock and Gene, which, Bardock, what did they do to him? I guess that's another personal complaint that I have, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But no, I felt total opposite. Very, very welcoming, in my opinion. Again, certain aspects maybe people will be a little bit confused of in the middle and probably towards the end. Maybe certain aspects like, the mythology stuff, the connections, if they mention the Tournament of Power, yeah.
If you're selling your home, check out Upnest, a free service that lets you find a great agent and save big.
I read about it online. Thought, why not? Nothing to lose. Within 48 hours, I was comparing 4 customized agent proposals with services and fees side by side.
I thought about selling my home myself to save on agent fees, but then I read about Upnest. I got similar savings and the price I wanted, hassle-free.
I wasn't sure if the quotes I received from other agents were good, or if they were reputable. My neighbor told me they saved thousands with Upnest, where top-quality agents will lower their fees. So I gave Upnest a try.
I read agent proposals at my own pace, without pressure or unwanted calls. I got a 15% commission discount and cut hassles by 100%.
I was looking for the best deal without sacrificing quality. I found it with Upnest.
They matched me with top agents right in my neighborhood. Kind of like online dating, without the stress.
The agent matching technology was spot on.
Okay, you have need to have seen or at least heard of this tournament from the Dragon Ball Super anime, but it just felt very welcoming to me. Now let's talk about the story. Very simplistic. If you don't know the synopsis, Broly, it's basically taking the original story and kind of making its own thing of it. And what I mean by that is, like, it's taking Broly, it's taking that he has this father character, it's taking that they had dysfunction with their relationship with King Vegeta and Planet Vegeta, and they got basically casted off. So it's taking that element, but it's just changing certain aspects and making it more so where, first of all, just overall, hands down, Broly's backstory 10 billion times better. I mean, they just literally squeezed out one of the biggest pieces that the fandom hated, and that was that Broly had this obsession with hating Goku and screaming out Kakarot simply because when they were newborns next to each other, Goku cried a lot next to him, and it would make him cry. That was ridiculous. The fandom hated it all these years, and it finally has been rinsed out of the fandom, unless you go back and watch the old Broly films, which I feel as though this film is kind of almost made, not completely, because those were incredible pieces of animation, awesome stuff, and it, again, was like, we got into the fandom with that, and I love that old animation, that old art, the way it looked and felt. So you can't completely throw out the old films, but I feel as though, as a whole, the film did it justice to put to rest, I guess, a lot of the aspects of, for starters, the fandom wanting Broly to be canon. How many years have we heard people, and then of course the people that don't know anything about Dragon Ball, oh, Broly is totally canon, man, him himself fought on, like, and they'll come up with these bullshit ass things that never happened, but it puts a lot to rest. But I will never say that this film, Dragon Ball Super Broly, makes the old film null and void, because, like, there's discrepancies, and again, we'll get into that, but above all, those were, or the first film, I don't want to speak for the Bio Broly and Broly's Return, or whatever the heck those two films, like, those were terrible. But the first film, or, well, the second one was terrible. The third one was terrible by Broly's garbage. But, you know, the first one was a really, really awesome film. Again, Broly, it improved on Broly. It improved on Paragus. Like, there's so much you can say about this film. I personally rather people get, obviously, check out the film, but for people that have seen this film, and we're going to talk about, you know, kind of swapping ideas in a way, even though this is one way or not. Broly definitely improved on Paragus, improved on the situation, improved on. I like the fact that Frieza, which he was amazing in this film, played a great piece in changing the dynamics of, or even the whole situation of Broly at hand, you know, because Broly and Paragus were just on their own when they were doing their little coup d'etat and trying to trick Vegeta and all this other stuff. Having Frieza, this already, you know, at this point, he's reassembled the Frieza Force. He's back on his feet. He has that golden form, so he's not that far behind Goku and Vegeta. Goku no longer having Ultra Instinct, so he's not at that power that he was at the end of, you know, Super. So it gave this extra piece and this smart and, like, you know, Frieza has adapted to the times, because obviously at this point in the film that we're referring to, like, you know, let's just say when they first meet up with Goku and Vegeta, but, you know, Frieza has them there, they meet on the Iceland or whatever looking for the Dragon Balls, which humor in this film, I know we're sidetracking everywhere, but that's just how we do things, baby. We talking Dragon Ball Super Broly. The humor with Frieza wanting to be taller while Bulma wanted to be younger, but only by a smidge because they didn't want...
Dave, Lisa just had the best idea.
Let's have a 3-day.
What? A 3-day? You cool with us having a 3-day? With your schedule?
Rachel's down. You're the only one who's not on board.
If you want to do it, then I'm ready to do it.
Everyone could use a 3-day weekend. What's today?
Anyone to notice, definitely poking fun at society. You know, and kind of the stigma, and how even an overlord like Frieza wants to look like he's still growing and taller, and he feels the pressures of society. I mean, this is the same guy that he can wipe out almost anyone in his universe, and yet he's worried about his height, because that is against society, and, you know, just poking fun at it. That's why with Bulma, she don't want people to know that, like, you know, it's happening because they'll accuse her of plastic surgery, but she wants to look younger by 5 years. When, you know, Bulma, I ain't gonna lie, give me that 16-year-old Dragon Ball Bulma back, maybe we'll be fine. But nah, that was a nice little shot at society and kind of where we're at as people. Broly, let's talk more Broly, because I feel we haven't talked enough Broly, and this is Dragon Ball Super. Broly was awesome. I love the changes. You could argue his relationship with that one chick from the Frieza Force that was introduced in this film. It was definitely meant as a gateway and a form of bringing Broly into the actual Dragon Ball Super franchise. And there's where lies, and we're like 10 minutes in now, my big problem with this film, and there's still so much more to talk, but I wanted to throw this out there, and this was my main issue with the Dragon Ball Super Broly film. It's not, you know, the fights, they were great fights, it wasn't Broly himself, they treated him very nicely, having him be more sympathetic.
Relax, man.
But it's that same reasoning that also makes me feel like Dragon Ball Super Broly could have been an arc in the Dragon Ball Super anime, to be honest with you, and I wonder how many people will sit back, think a little bit outside of the hype train, because yes, it is very hype, it's a great film, we're loving it right now, the film just came out, people are probably still about to go watch it as I film this video, and as you watch this right here. I could even argue that the Trunks returning, Goku Black arc, all of that stuff, the Zamos and everything, would have served better, and would have served more threatening and menacing as a film than this Broly film. Broly was impressive. He made illogical leaps, to be honest with you. I still will say, I don't care how strong you are. I mean, I guess it's pushing forth because the whole film was about Saiyans, their heritage, the backstory and everything, and that the legend, you know, the true Super Saiyan wouldn't need God forms and can compete. You know, he's competing with Goku and Vegeta, these people that have went through a lot, where he's only trained with Paragus his whole life, and he's doing that without these God modes, without this God key, none of that stuff, and he's just Super Saiyan, you know, the legendary Super Saiyan. He's competing with them, so I guess that's the push forward, but it still feels a little illogical. And again, overall, Broly becoming a good guy at the end and basically just being simply whisked away to another planet when we've seen, like, you know, we're supposed to be far advanced from the capabilities of what people did in Dragon Ball Z, right? Sending Broly to another planet and, hey, we're gonna spar with him from now on, and hey, when the Dragon Ball Super anime, inevitably, I think we're all smart enough to know that this is doing too well for them to stop this cash cow, and the manga has been going past everything. The power just, you know, surpassed that. You know, they're not gonna stop that. It's like, hey, Broly's a part of the series now, man. You know, he's going to eventually, they're gonna get to a point, maybe 2 arcs into the Return of Dragon Ball Super. There's going to be a villain that they're not going to be able to take on, or somehow there's going to be some way where Broly is going to have to be like a last resort, like, hey, let's get Broly.
Do you need the most trusted battery in your noise-canceling headphones? Maybe not. Maybe you can trust you won't be next to a loud eater. Or you could just trust Duracell.
But Broly has inevitably now, seemingly, become the Incredible Hulk of the Dragon Ball verse. I mean, it seems as though, you know, he has all of those qualities. Yes, that one female, you know, his companion that was from the Frieza Force is now going to try to basically domesticate Broly into kind of being, you know, just like a regular person, but that's still going to take a long time. He's been many, many years with Paragus. I guarantee it's going to be the same. You know, it allowed humor. It allowed a lot of humor, honestly. I mean, instances of, you know, Broly's not that wise, so when Frieza pulled the one of, which it was horrible, because it was essentially like treated Paragus like he was dog crap. I guess kind of deserving because he was the son. But when Frieza killed Paragus and then said, look at Broly, look what happened, like, that was freaking insane. It was, again, mixing Toriyama, a comedy genius. You would never tell me otherwise. His incredible, you know, humor mixed in with the plot of the story without disrupting it, without making it too, you know, glaring, because it's showcasing that this is what Dragon Ball probably should have been all along, where it was still big battle pieces, but the humor still living, you know. Z took out a lot of these core elements that Dragon Ball encompassed prior to Raditz showing up stuff. Like, Z was real serious. I feel as though Super embodies what Dragon Ball had of the humor, but also the great and incredible action sequences and pieces that, you know, Z had, and Dragon Ball Super Broly does just that. Absolutely topples the first Broly film, any of the old Broly films for that matter. Broly is a better character now. Broly and Paragus' characterization was just overall done well, just done better. Like, the old Broly films are still not relegated useless completely. Broly's design was awesome. I'd say he, in my head anyway, looked a little bit more hulking and bulking in his old big legendary form than in his new big bulking Saiyan, Super Saiyan form. So there's that, and that animation is classic, and that's how we all got into Broly to begin with. But I will say that Dragon Ball Super Broly just way better, way better. This is honest, no fluffing, none of that. Way better than those Broly films, and it's definitely the best post, I guess, what was the last Dragon Ball Z film? Anyway, since Battle of Gods, of the 3 films we have so far, Battle of Gods, Resurrection, F, and now this one, the Broly film is better than those 2. I would argue, probably not as serious as what Battle of Gods felt like, amongst all the hype, amongst all the love and admiration I have for this film. Its art, its animation, the storytelling, the comedy, all of that stuff. I will say, in the end, Dragon Ball Super Broly still, minus the level of animation, could have been swapped with the Goku Black arc as the movie for Dragon Ball Super, and I think it would have been just as big, because Trunks is probably even more popular than Broly. So I want to run that by you guys. Do you think that Dragon Ball Super Broly should have been just an arc in Super, and maybe the Goku Black story could have been done as a film with, like, better, you know, art and animation and all that stuff, very high quality, and maybe switching a couple things around, like the crazy Trunks' sword in the end? And how do you feel about Dragon Ball Super Broly? Again, phenomenal film, incredibly done, just great. Honestly, it was a great film. I just feel as though maybe it was a little unnecessary to make it a film. Could have been an incredible Dragon Ball Super arc. Probably it could have been the best Dragon Ball Super arc, and he just swapped it out with the Goku Black stuff. And your overall thoughts? How do you feel about Dragon Ball Super Broly? I mean, just so many incredible...
My boyfriend is addicted to frozen food porn.
Oh. What?
Oh. He watches it at least 2 to 3 times a day. Maybe more. The other day, I found his hidden stash. This addiction has turned him into a 3-minute man.
Things, the funniness of Frieza getting smacked around by Broly for a bit while Goku and Vegeta went to do the final thing we will talk about, and that was fusion. Argue even fusion just felt like not necessarily out of reach, but since we've seen Ultra Instinct, even though Goku can no longer eat it, that was one thing that I was like, I would have been fine with it for Ultra Instinct. I think Goku was definitely, you know, again, this being catering for the fandom. They know that that's fusion. The fans love that, which it was, in part, yes, for the fans, definitely. But I still argue, especially with that beginning stuff, that there was a lot of things it could encompass, which, going to the beginning stuff, before we talk about Vegeta, one thing I gotta talk about, another thing about this film, yes, okay, there was some awesome history of the Saiyans, okay? I loved seeing Frieza when he took over the reign of, you know, ruling Planet Vegeta. I loved King Vegeta and seeing that he was so desperate to see his precious young son, you know, Prince Vegeta. I loved seeing little Raditz. I loved a lot of that stuff. Bardock, they ruined Bardock in this film for me. They ruined Bardock in this film for me. Bardock and the Saiyans were cold-hearted pirates. They were space tyrants. We've seen when Vegeta came how ruthless he was with Nappa. They didn't care for a soul. Would kill and crush anyone in his conquest. Bardock was the same way, and I feel as though, yes, the TV special wasn't done by Toriyama, but Toriyama loved and adored it. He probably didn't remember it. I also feel as though, this is a personal side note feeling, that it was a sign of the times. You know, his relationship with Gene and stuff like that was a sign of the times of, the world's gotten a lot softer, I ain't gonna lie. That it is what it is. We had a hardcore badass in the 90s. We got somebody that is trying to be, you know, Jor-El to his Kal-El. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was a cool backstory. I preferred Goku's original backstory. Also, it kind of made a big, not necessarily big, but a decent-sized plot hole in terms of, because they wanted to force this whole triangular destiny between Vegeta, Goku, and Broly, and made Goku grow up a bit in his appearance on when he first comes to Earth. Goku was a tiny little baby, a newborn, naked in a space pod. And this one, they turned it into, he looks like he's, what, 3 years old, maybe 4 years old, and he's wearing space, Saiyan armor. Like, what? I didn't really care for that. Maybe the reason why they can do these things is maybe because they're planning on bringing the Super Anime back and redoing Broly, because definitely a couple of plot holes in that. But it was still freaking awesome, I ain't gonna lie. Just like Baby Raditz was so cool, seeing him little there, and kind of trying to keep everything in continuity. Speaking of, oh yeah, but they did tell me my little brother was sent to another planet, and you know, his interactions, little Vegeta. I would love a spin-off anime or a spin-off film in terms of, like, maybe the way, you know, DC and Marvel have been doing these things. Well, I think it's DC with the comics, the Legos and stuff. Maybe do a Chibi or a la Teen Titans Go, a Chibi Vegeta and Raditz anime. Oh man, that would be so sick, and it was so awesome. But again, just so many things to say about this film. All around, I would say, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, if you've seen Super, absolutely go watch the Broly film. Definitely a must-watch if you've seen Super. If you've seen anything, or you're a big Dragon Ball fan, you love Dragon Ball.
If you're selling your home, check out Upnest, a free service that lets you find a great agent and save big.
I read about it online. Thought, why not? Nothing to lose. Within
Definitely another film, I would say, gives you a lot of more exposition and history into the Saiyan scene. King Cold again, Frieza, Broly, Bardock, the introduction canonically of Goku's mother, Gine. Yeah, it's actually Gine. I think I was pronouncing Gine all these years. It's, in the dub anyway, officially Gine. Shout out to the incredible performance of the English dub voice actors that worked on Dragon Ball Super Broly. Everyone from, you know, Chris Sabat to Sean Schemmel. I gotta say, it was very, very, and I want to point out, if by some chance Sonny Strait, voice of Krillin and Bardock, if you see this, phenomenal growth in your performance, your vocal inflection, everything that you put into your performance as Bardock. I've watched that Bardock film with the dub many, many times, whether it's a TV special, whatever, many, many times. You did a phenomenal job with your performance in Dragon Ball Super Broly as Bardock, but not only that, but the growth as an actor. Incredible, incredibly done. Just all around, again, incredible film with some shortcomings, absolutely, but if I had to grade it, I would definitely give it 8.5 at the very least on a low grade 8 to an 8.5, high grade 9. I'd say like that. It was a lot of, and honestly, I'd probably go more toward the 8s, just because, yeah, there was plot holes. There was some things that didn't make.
No plot hole, man. Forget everything you know, man. This is a new thing. The thing you know before, forget it. No plot hole.
Look at that, now I'm there. Wait, what? Why you get timed out?
Bro, Florida's internet isn't even that horrible, dude. It's just like, I, for some reason, just have terrible fucking internet. And I call Spectrum all the fucking time to try to get it fixed, and they're supposed to be installing fiber. But, like, they just suck, dude. Oh, like, oh, we can't do it because blah, blah, blah. It's just like excuses, fucking bullshit over and over again. It's just so whack. I'm pretty sure the internet lines that I'm using are from like fucking the 18th century. What the fuck is that noise?
Speed up. It's gone.
My balloon from fucking hell, dude. But if I would have been over 3 hours ago, if I would have had a fucking shotgun.
Fuck, man. My RNG today.
Oh.
Trash. Oh my god, these are fuck. What the fuck? Fuck.
Freaking ball. As it can be. Freaking ball.
My RNG today is kind of fucking trash. Oh my god, these things are fucked. What the fuck? This is insane. This place is fucking max. Bro! What? Just do a quick jog through here, bro. Your max mass, like, instant this place. Third party, huh? You're a fucking cuck. You know that? Fucking cuck. Third party my fucking minigun, dog. There you go. Third party that, buddy. Free third party right there. Motherfucker, you make me want to pickaxe that ass. You really do. I might have to. Yeah, that's what you fucking get. Never third party me again. Are you fucking kidding me, man? What are you waiting for me for, dude? Yeah, dude. Definitely get a headshot me with that sniper rifle, huh? I'm not gonna sit back and relax, dude. That's whack. Sit back, relax, brother.
Whoa.
Third party? Are you fucking kidding me?
Whoa.
What a scumbag human being. You think you can just because you got your friend third party me, dude? Is that what you think?
Oh, come on. Yes, you would.
What the guy thinks, bro? Let me at him, dude.
No.
Third party. Mother fluker, dude. Where is he, dude? Where's the third party here? Where is it? There he is.
Woo!
Fuck. You motherfucker. You think it's cool third party people, huh? You really do. Is that what you think? Well, you get a third party gun. There you go. Is that it? Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted, huh, buddy? Is that really what you wanted, buddy? Third party in a fucking gang, dude? Another one? Your little friend over there, huh? Third party me. Think it's funny? Think this shit's funny? You really think this shit's funny? Think it's a joke? Unbelievable, dude. Where's my quad at? There it is.
No. This is cool, man. No. Hold on, go there, boy. No.
Is that the guy at third party dude? Is that him?
At Kia, we're bringing America's best value to you. Whether you want a big SUV with standard 7-passenger seating, or...
Sick, dude. Just now idea from the fucking sky went on you. That's what you get, dude, for interrupting me trying to kill a guy that was trying to third party me, buddy. Okay? Oh, here he is, dude. Mr. fucking sit storm because I want a third party fucking people. Yep. Well, guess what, bro? I'll see you in the fucking safe zone when you don't get there because you're too stupid. Yep, keep shooting me, bro. I'm sure it'll work out great for you there.
Ah, garbage. because can see him. Keep trying. That's your big idea? Come on, jump at him like a monkey. Oi.
Don't mind me, you guys just go ahead and have your good fight. I won't be any annoyance to you guys. Enjoy. I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot this guy that wants to sit in the fucking edge of the storm. He's got a third party, dude. You guys just, you know, drink your mimosas and chill. I'll be over here. No worries. Try third party me, huh? Third party me what? See how it is. Sorry for third party, man. My name's Timmy and all I do is 90 up to the sky. Oh shit, he put me for fucking 100 million.
Oh yeah.
I have no more mats. This guy's gonna RPG me out. Stop trying to third party me, dude. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Yeah, how's it feel to get third party, nerd? Try to rotate the zone and see what happens. You're gonna get fucking lasered by me.
What?
It ain't safe, it ain't safe, it ain't safe. Alright, dude. Oh, look at you, mister. I'm in third party and everyone all game. Okay, listen, buddy. I paid my dues. You can fuck right off. Motherfucker. Only had 14 kills. That pop up for it, but whatever.
You beautiful bastards. Hope you've had a fantastic Friday. Well, deeper into. And this Friday is no exception, although it is a little bit different. Today we have two stories. One shorter, one longer. One that is about what is happening on the internet and how that is bleeding into the real world, and something that is just the real world. And both touching on stuff we're going to be seeing more and more of in the future. But with that said, let's just jump into it. The first thing we're going to talk about today is a viewer-requested story from earlier in the week, and it's a little about industry, but it's also about celebrities, fandom, harassment, overreaction. And at the center of this particular story, you have Grayson and Ethan Dolan, who, if you don't know, are just massively successful on this and several other platforms. And on Saturday, they very unfortunately announced that their father, Sean Dolan, had died after battling cancer. Posting this on Instagram and saying, although we were only granted 19 years here together, it feels like we've spent a million lifetimes together. You are such a strong soul, and you've made such a strong impact on more people than you would believe. And while many fans shared condolences with the Dolan twins, there were some K-pop fans that mocked their father's death. And looking through this, it appeared the fans were upset that the brothers appeared in a video in June on Emma Chamberlain's channel with James Carl. And in that video, Grayson Dolan says,
Oh my god. Passing out really came up.
Apparently was a joke because in the K-pop world, many of the stars are often overworked to the point where they pass out. And so because of this, you had some K-pop fans finding this joke to be insensitive. A few people responding on Twitter saying, imagine thinking that mocking someone for passing out from being overworked is funny. Another writing, that wasn't funny at all. I honestly love the Dolan twins, but like, y'all should at least admit that what he said was fucked up. And Grayson ended up responding in now deleted tweets saying, I think what I said in Emma's video is being misinterpreted. I was bringing awareness to the disgusting part of the industry that overworks people to the point of exhaustion. I love K-pop. If my tone seemed off-putting, sorry. That was the sarcastic mood of the video. Then going on to talk about wanting positive change, saying health is extremely important, and even going as far as to say don't engage with anyone who has attacked me. There was a misunderstanding and I forgive. And then following that, there was backlash over those comments. Apologizes again, says he wasn't trying to desensitize a serious topic. He then later deletes both of these tweets. And the reason I mentioned that previous situation where you had some angry K-pop fans, well, it's because apparently there were some K-pop fans that saw this family tragedy. You had some deciding to take this opportunity to make jokes about Sean's death. Tweets like, remember when the Dolan twins laughed about K-pop idols passing out? Who's alive now? Remember when the Dolan twins made fun of K-pop idols for being overworked? Looks like God overworked Sean. Karma's a bitch. And keep in mind, I am not trying to attribute all K-pop fans with these disgusting comments. One, to the people who wrote these comments, I really, really hope you get punched in the throat. And that has nothing to do with the people that you're throwing this disgusting stuff at being the Dolans. It's just not something you do. You're a sad, pathetic person. You've got anything out of saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not like it was all K-pop fans. You had people finding the thing to be completely disgusting. People writing things like, I want to apologize to fans of the Dolan twins. Most of us do not react in an appropriate manner when someone passes away. Anyway, some K-pop stans are acting disgusting, and there were more. But unfortunately, that is not where the situation ended. There's also controversy surrounding Sean Dolan's funeral. All of a sudden, it appeared online that some fans were posting plans to attend the funeral and turn it into a meet and greet. You saw the hashtag Sean Dolan meetup party and Sean Dolan funeral party both appearing on Twitter. There's also an Instagram account called Sean Dolan Funeral, which has now been deleted, but did post a plan of action. Writing, hey guys, so here's the plan if you are on the Sean Dolan funeral list meetup. 1, meet up at McDonald's all together. 2, get ready in my hotel room. 3, head to the funeral. 4, pay our respects to Sean by going up to his casket and holding his hand and please cry. 5, hug the twins, Cameron, mom's family. And 6, speak with the twins after taking pictures, etc. Be nice. Also following this, there were parody accounts posting just really disgusting things about their father. And once again, obviously following all of this, there were a lot of people that were disgusted, know that this is completely wrong. The situation still kept growing to the point that even Dolan had to tweet out, if you are a fan of Grayson and I, we love you and appreciate you so much. Adding the best way you could support us during this tough time is to not show up at our father's wake or funeral. Thank you guys, and please, please, please respect my wish. Grayson also echoing that statement on his Twitter. So this week we ended up seeing this story pop up everywhere, but it's just, for me, this story is kind of the showcasing of two polar opposites, but both being horrible. I mean, we've gotten to such a point where, I mean, we talked about on the show, you have parents driving their kids to people's houses. This is the even more extreme, horrible version of that, if anyone was actually planning on going. And I think with how many young people are watching these creators, I think there is an issue of not knowing where the line is. I really having people that genuinely think that this person is their friend. And I think that it's not because of one of those damn stupid kids. I mean, as parents, or if you're an older person in a younger person's life, I think it is our job to educate. I mean, for example, this situation is making me think of my own son. My son, back when I was letting him watch more, he would watch Ryan Toys Week. And when that family came in, my son met Ryan, and he thought they were friends. Luckily, Ryan had seen Trey in some videos, so they actually met really well. As these young kids grow up, it is our job as the people that care for them to let them know this is a disconnected relationship. They don't know you, and as they seeing situations where kids are showing other people's houses, or you have parents that are allowing and enabling it. So that's just a big thing. But then on the extreme other end, trolling and or hatred gotten to such a point that there's no line there either, and you have people making fun of someone's father death. Because some comment you made earlier in a post, it's not a bigger final point other than that. I mean, I could rant for 60 more seconds about how trolls suck and they're like pathetic. But most of the time when you're talking about trolls, they're so pathetic that even this, but taking a little bit of time to acknowledge a stupid action, they're like, I'm so sad, that's a win. And something that in my eyes, I mean, it's something that should be pity. But you know what, actually, if there is a final note that I can make, I don't know the Dolan twins, but I do want to send my well wishes and my sympathies over. 1, it's already a horrible thing to happen, and 2, it's an even worse thing to have to deal with the BS that the world throws at. I mean, people are already not fully equipped to deal with such a heavy loss, and you just add the chaos of everything that's been thrown at them. It's disgusting. That's what I'm going to end with. My website has been unbuttoned the entire time. That's please don't. please actually comment on the story. And the last thing we're going to talk about today, the main story of this video, involves the LAUSD teacher strike. And this is a story and situation I've touched on somewhat in a previous video. You know, looking at that and several other pieces of coverage, I think that there's a big disconnect between the images of strikes and the real experiences in the classroom that led to this happening in the first place. And even though they've already come to a resolution as of filming this video, the challenges these teachers face aren't just specific to LAUSD. They can be seen all over the country in America's public school system, which is why it likely won't be uncommon to see teachers going on strike more and more. But with this story, to catch you up before we go any further, Los Angeles Unified School District teachers went on strike for the first time in 30 years on Monday, January 14th. And estimates say that 32,000 teachers walked off the job and into the rain to protest, and even 600,000 students without instructors. To deal with this, they hired 400 substitutes, 2,000 administrators were reassigned to fill the gaps as best as possible. And you have the LAUSD Teachers Union, UTLA, saying that the district had over $1.8 billion in reserves by the end of the 2017-2018 school year. The common misconception about this strike is that a lot of people just thought they want more money. But LA teachers weren't striking just for money. They were looking to reduce class sizes, as well as hire more instructors, nurses, librarians, and counselors, and reduce standardized testing. And you have the LAUSD Teachers Union, UTLA, saying that the district had over $1.8 billion in reserves by the end of the 2017-2018 school year. But there was pushback from the school district, who said they do not have the money in the budget to make these types of changes. So prior to the strike, LAUSD Superintendent of Schools Austin Buettner said in an op-ed, over a 3-year period that began last July, LA Unified will spend about $24 billion educating students. Unfortunately, the state's forecasts tell us our revenue over that period will be closer to $22 billion, and we will spend every penny of our reserves to cover the shortfall. The often cited $1.8 billion in reserves is already being spent. And before we talk about what deal was actually agreed upon, I think it's really important for us to hear the challenges from the people actually facing them. And so that's why we reached out to some LAUSD teachers and staff, brought them in, and we asked them questions and let them just talk to us about what they're dealing with.
So I'm Wendy. I am a LAUSD school psychologist and I work in the Watts South Central area.
My name is Joe. I'm a teacher in LAUSD. I taught at middle school and high school.
My name is Brent. I teach middle school. This is my 30th year teaching 8th graders. I also have a group of little 6th graders.
My name is Rosario. I am a middle school teacher for LAUSD.
LAUSD is the second largest school district in the entire United States. The average class size has conflicting data, 26 being thrown around in various publications, and the LAUSD website showing numbers ranging from 30 to 43. UTLA contracts also specify caps, which limit how many students can be in a class, with variations based on grade and type of class. But after the recession hit back in 2008, the district invoked Section 1.5, which allows those caps to be ignored, citing fiscal crisis. And that section has been called into effect every single year since, and was the biggest pushback for UTLA during negotiations, with teachers wanting Section 1.5 eliminated and hard caps on class size enforced.
So my current average class size is 43.
My first period class is 42 kids. My smallest class is 39 kids. It is a lot of kids.
In the LAUSD system, like our cap number, it varies based on the grade that you teach and the type of school that you're at. And every school that I have taught at, I have taught at least one class per year that is over the maximum. Not this year, but the last 2 years, I taught AP Government, and I had classes of 47.
It's really hard to manage a class with so many students, and it's really hard to be able to get to all of them. You can't have a connection with all of your students, and that's the most important part of teaching.
It's very difficult for you to give one-on-one attention or any type of constructive support or criticism or build relationships with students. We have an 80-minute block schedule with 47 kids. That's 2 minutes per kid, and I'm trying the period's done.
You want a smaller classroom. Okay, now we're going to rotate and we're going to do small class instruction because we have students that are academically really low because of 40 to 50 absences per school year. They don't have their glasses. They're going through so much trauma in their home. That kind of gives them that intimate time with the teacher to address them at the level that they're in and be able to provide that instruction.
Really, the biggest priority has to do with safety. when you don't have enough space in the classroom, if anyone needs to move, or if there's an emergency, or if there's an incident and you need to quickly move to another spot of the room, let's say there's a fight, some kid hits some other kid, and you need to go stop that. It's very difficult for you to move if there's no place to move. The number of people that you would ask when you talk to them about their favorite teacher, it's the teacher that talked to them. It's the teacher that asked them about their home life. It's the teacher that really got involved with them. And when I only have 1 minute to 2 minutes per day or per period per student, you're just never going to get the type of connection that you need to affect a student to really start to have them believe in themselves, to think that they can do something or they can achieve this.
And the one who really needs you the worst, you don't even see it because you can't even get to them. They're quiet, they're withdrawn, but they're overshadowed by the fact that you've got all these other kids that are calling attention to themselves, and I spend an awful lot of my day just putting out brush fires.
Also, there's the issue that many schools only have nurses on campus 1 to 2 days a week, which is something the staff hit on when we spoke with them.
LA Unified pays for our nurse to be on our campus 1 day a week.
We have a nurse 2 times a week.
But you have discretionary money. If you want a nurse there more days a week, just allocate it out of your discretionary money.
I've been to 2 schools. The previous school I was at was a middle school, and they only had a nurse 1 day a week. Maybe it was 2 days. I think they bought the second day. And so I would send kids to the nurse, and if the nurse was there that day, then they would get seen by the nurse. If not, then they said, oh, I went to the main office, and they gave me a Band-Aid. Or I went to the main office, and they called my mom, I'm going home.
We're sitting there going, but so we can buy paper and pens, and we can buy programs for the kids, we can do field trips, or we can have a nurse. We cannot have both. So yes, we do have a nurse 5 days a week, and it takes most of our discretionary funds to do that. But what else do we do?
We have 1 nurse for our 1,140 students, and she's there about twice a week.
They're not all gonna hate you, man.
Answering the phone, and basically everything in our school has to take care of our students. And usually it just depends on checking their temperature, and if they need Band-Aids or so, or sometimes you just have to send them home.
My office is very close to the nurse's office, and there's at least 5 to 6 kids that are rotating on a daily basis. So now the secretary has to stop what she's doing and start taking temperatures and help the kids that are throwing up, call parents, and then we have parents and phone calls that she needs to address. I was trained on how to use the machine for asthma and how to use an EpiPen, and I'm like damn if I do it, and damn if I don't, because now it's on me because I've technically been trained for it.
Why would you send a student to school without having a nurse there? If anything happens any other day, what are we going to do? Just send them to the hospital, to send them home? That's not safe.
Additionally, many...
Stupid dog. What the heck? I woke up running. This freaking guy. You play this game every day, all day.
It is way past bedtime. Yeah, for real. I don't know what things say. That's outside of it. Yes, it was.
Who shot me?
I'll play that man a million times.
God.
Can't do no reset. Oh boy.
Damn late.
GG's. Alright, Bill, I'm ready when you are. If you're still in here.
better than Justice than I am in Mortal Kombat.